We begin in Hamilton tonight as hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters have taken to the streets, sparked by some of the worst violence between Israelis and Palestinians in the Holy Land in years. Matt Ingram joins us live downtown tonight with the latest. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, Nicole. I'm here standing in front of City Hall. I'm actually on Main Street because police have shut it down. This protest began here at City Hall earlier today before taking to the streets and marching through the downtown. People here are supporting the pro-Palestinian cause. I'm going to step out of the way so you can take a look at what's going on behind me. There's hundreds of people here tonight. Now, some are starting to stream away, but the atmosphere is still pretty lively. There's a group of speakers up closer to the entrance of City Hall that people are listening to. Lots of flag waving. Lots of chanting, a very peaceful event for sure. And this wasn't the only pro-Palestinian demonstration today in our region. Earlier today, hundreds of people came together in Oakville. They came from across the GTA to Oakville, speaking their minds about an increasingly bloody war a world away.
We are helpless. We are here and we feel helpless. This is the least we can do.
This has got to end. It's been happening for too long. It's got to end. It's not right.
To stand for the right of Palestine, especially this day they are under attack.
Holding signs, waving flags, and chanting, the crowds covered all four corners of the intersection while vehicles whizzed by, honking horns and showing support. Halton police eventually shutting down parts of the intersection to keep people safe from traffic.
Occupation is a crime!
This protest is very well attended, and as more people have shown up, they've spread out down Trafalgar Road, holding signs and chanting. Organizers say they're trying to spread out so that passing cars can see all the signs and flags. These people want an end to the fighting between Palestinians and Israelis.
They are getting killed for no reason. Innocent children are getting killed for no reason.
This latest outbreak of violence in this century-old conflict began last month in East Jerusalem, with clashes between Palestinians and Israeli police over police tactics during Ramadan and the threatened eviction of Palestinian families by Jewish settlers. Then, last Monday, Palestinian militant group Hamas began firing rockets into Israel, triggering an Israeli assault.
Israel has responded forcefully to these attacks, and we will continue to respond forcefully.
Israel's prime minister says the war against Hamas will continue. Today, Hamas kept up firing rockets, while Israeli airstrikes in Gaza City killed at least 42 people, including families. Local medics say it's the deadliest single attack of this recent violence.
The United Nations is actively engaging all sides towards an immediate ceasefire.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for an end to the fighting at a Security Council meeting this morning. At least 188 Palestinians have been killed and more than 1,200 wounded in hundreds of Israeli airstrikes. And at least 8 people in Israel have been killed by rockets launched from Gaza. Take a look. Here's some of the viz of that march we were telling you about through the streets of Hamilton earlier. People taking to the streets before returning here to City Hall. With no sign of violence, this might not be the last pro-Palestinian protest we see in this city. It's the second that's been held this week. Now, there have been protests around the world on this issue all weekend. Now, yesterday was the 73rd annual Nakba Day, which is a day that Palestinians commemorate the end of their society and the end of their homeland. It coincides with the proclamation of Israel, the State of Israel, in May 1948. Back to you.